Good afternoon, Stephen. I am Mary Claire
Afternoon.
Ribet. I'm the director of the French American Chamber of Commerce of the Carolinas, and today we're interviewing you. Would you mind introducing yourself?
Of course, thank you for that, Marie Claire. My name is Steve Doares. I'm the SVP and site head at Cellectis' new Raleigh, North Carolina manufacturing site. I joined Cellectis at the beginning of July this year, 2020. I have a background of about 25 years in the pharmaceutical industry. I spent 15 years in a large biotech doing process development and technology transfer into manufacturing, and then another 10 years in a mid-sized biotech running a manufacturing sciences organization. Again, the responsibilities there were doing tech transfer of processes into manufacturing.
Okay, wonderful. So would you describe your business and tell us more about Cellectis?
Sure. Cellectis is a state-of-the-art gene therapy, cell therapy company. My primary responsibility here is to ensure successful construction, equipping, and startup of the new state-of-the-art manufacturing site here in Raleigh to supply both clinical and in the future commercial supplies of our immuno-oncology UCART or universal CAR T therapy product candidates. It's a very pivotal time for Cellectis right now, and we continue to progress our clinical trials and get closer to product commercialization, and it's something that will ultimately have the potential to impact patients with unmet needs. We are a clinical stage company right now, focused on developing this first-in-kind allogeneic approach for CAR T-cell immunotherapies in oncology, pioneering this concept of off-the-shelf, ready-to-use gene-edited CAR T-cells to treat cancer patients. Cellectis itself has over 20 years of expertise in gene editing using our proprietary gene editing technology called TALEN, and also Pulse Agile, which is our pioneering electroporation system. We use these proprietary tools to harness the power of the immune system in order to target and eradicate cancer cells. Cellectis is dedicated to addressing unmet needs of patients with multiple types of blood and lymphatic cancers, including acute myeloid leukemia, B-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and multiple myeloma. The goal of the company is to become fully end-to-end sufficient and be self-reliant rather than going to outside contract companies to do the manufacturing. And so to accomplish this goal, Cellectis is in the process of constructing in-house manufacturing facilities in Paris, France, and here in Raleigh, North Carolina, which are expected to be operational in 2020 and 2021 respectively. And this commercial scale manufacturing facility here in Raleigh is 82,000 square feet. It's designed to provide GMP manufacturing for clinical supplies and in the future, commercial manufacturing upon regulatory approval.
Wow, thank you for this response. What you're doing is amazing. It's very, very impressive, very impressive. So would you mind telling me maybe what has your response to COVID-19 been? How have you responded on the site? How has it impacted your business and cancer research?
Sure, thank you. That's a great question. It's very timely given the current pandemic situation worldwide. And one thing we like to say in our organization is if cancer doesn't stop, Cellectis doesn't either. We found that through this pandemic is even though our society has been infiltrated with the virus, we cannot forget other emergent medical needs that need to be met, and cancer is one of them. We're so grateful to our team of dedicated employees who remain committed to our mission despite the challenges we face. So broadly speaking, in terms of COVID-19, we implemented protocols across the company to protect employees at all the sites. That's Paris, that's New York City, and it's Raleigh, including social distancing, abundant use of face masks, sanitizers, wipes, and flexible work arrangements to allow many employees to work from home, thus allowing more effective social distancing by the people who have to physically be on site. The Raleigh site in particular is a bit of a challenge compared to Paris and New York City, primarily because North Carolina in general still has a significant COVID-19 positivity rate compared to both New York and to France. And we're growing and adding new employees to the roster every single week. For these
Mm-hmm.
reasons, we've maintained the flexible work from home arrangements to allow
Mm-hmm.
better social distancing for people who have to be here, be it for construction oversight, equipment placement and commissioning activities, laboratory and warehouse space setting up the manufacturing gowning rooms, etc. All of those things and getting a manufacturing facility ready. Additionally, anyone who comes on site is required to self-screen daily for temperature and symptoms and fill out a screening questionnaire to turn into the reception desk when you arrive. If the screening is not favorable, the person must self-quarantine at home for 14 days post-symptoms or until receiving a negative COVID-19 test, whichever is sooner.
Wow.
Additionally, a mask is required whenever you're moving around the facility or when you're interacting with others. Only
Mm-hmm.
when sitting at your assigned desk at least 6 feet away from anyone else can you remove your mask. We also ask that anyone who's come in contact with a known COVID-19 patient or who's been in a high risk situation like traveling on a passenger plane or attending a large event follow the same self-quarantine steps as someone who exhibits any symptoms would. The primary goal for any biopharma manufacturing site is to keep itself operational, and that means everyone needs to take pragmatic precautions to protect each other from infection.
Exactly, exactly. So, could you share maybe three, five, 4 or 5 things you've learned from this experience with COVID and the virus, and how that has impacted you and your team?
Absolutely. So a few thoughts around that. Number one, make the vision and the mission of the site clear, and the employees will do what it takes to achieve it, even in our topsy-turvy pandemic world. They know patients need our innovative therapies as soon as possible, and that drives everyone.
Good.
Second, preparation is key. Having the ability to be resilient and adjust to a challenging situation in a short period of time. This is something I'm proud to say Cellectis was able to experience and accomplish, and we feel more prepared to face new challenges in the future as a result. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever comes our way, I think COVID-19 has made us a little more resilient to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the last thought I have around that is even for old school baby boomers like me, COVID-19 has forced us to realize that the workplace is changing, and flexible work arrangements not only work in terms of productivity, but they're an expectation of the newer generations.
Mm-hmm.
Before I joined Cellectis in July at my previous mid-sized biopharma employer, I had spent the previous 4 months working exclusively from home, as did probably 75 to 80% of the entire company.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the goal was to protect the manufacturing sites by allowing only necessary
Mm-hmm.
manufacturing maintenance and laboratory personnel on site, because anyone else coming onto site was recognized as being a threat to operations.
Yes, yes, yeah, exactly. Well, that's a great lesson for us. I'm a baby boomer too, so I understand. But well, thank you very much, Stephen. We are very impressed that what Cellectis is doing. Very impressed that you moved to Raleigh. Very happy to have Cellectis in Raleigh. This is a great company, and I think it's very reassuring for all the patients around the world to know that companies like yours are continuing to do their research, and not everyone is focused on COVID, but there's still research being done for cancer and all the essential, the major diseases that are impacting a lot of people around the world. Thank you for your work. Thank you for sharing more about Cellectis today, and good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
talking to you.
I did too. Okay.